Okay, so assuming your machine is ready, let's see what is JavaFX. I put some text over here. I'm sure you've read it. So JavaFX is a new version of building professional quality user interfaces using Java. So the previous versions were AWT, which allows you to build applets. And then a new version came up, which was swing classes. Swings are very popular, but the interface looks a bit too old. It's more like Windows XP sort of an interface. So JavaFX, it's cool. It provides you with many different controls and handles you can work with to create professional quality, high quality interfaces. So today's training is just a very basic introduction, getting to know what is JavaFX. I'm not going to give you a lot of theoretical background. I have posted some links over here at the bottom of this page. Okay, there are tutorials available. You can go ahead and search on your own. So the limited time we have, let's first build a simple project in NetBeans. So I'm going to go to File menu, New Project. Okay. So FX by default bundles with Java 8. So here's FX. I'm just going to select this folder. Now here it could be showing you 3 options, could be showing you 5 options. It depends on the version of Java you have. So with 8, you will be able to see JavaFX XML application. This is the one we're going to use. So I'm just going to click next. Okay, we're going to build a sample program. So I'm just going to type sample. Notice I'm storing everything in my training folder. So I'll change it to my desktop folder, which was JavaFX training. So it's going to create the sample folder under the JavaFX training folder. I'm not changing anything here, and click finish. So there you go. Okay. I hope all of you can see my code over here. Can you all see the code? I can make it bigger. A little bigger? Okay. All right, that's better. Okay, I don't really have a lot of time, so I'm going to make a video and post it on my website. If you miss out, you can go watch the video again and do what I've just done. Yes, we can turn off the lights. Can you please turn off the light? Thank you. Right. So in my project, I have the sample package. In the package, I have 3 files. By default, sample.java is the main file. Okay, I'm going to close all of them and show you all of them one by one. So sample.java is the main file. This is where your main method is. So you can see this thing, public static void main. And the main method is calling only one method, which is launch with parameters args. So launch is a part of FX. It will initiate the FX application. In the same file, you have the start method. The start method throws an exception. In FX, all the applications are built in a window. The window is called stage. Okay, so we have some keywords. Let me jump back to my web page. I'll put a picture over here I've taken from Oracle's website. So the main controller is stage. In the stage, you have scene. In a scene, you can have multiple components. Okay, we call them UI elements. We call them nodes. So different people call them different things. For the sake of clarity, in this training, I'm just going to be referring to them as components. So there are so many different kinds of components you're familiar with: text boxes, radio buttons, okay, labels, buttons, and so on. So what we did over here is we just created a stage called stage. Under the stage, we're going to get resources. Okay, we're going to create a scene over here. Scene is controlled by something called as parent. So I'll tell you in a minute what is a parent. So over here what we're doing is we are setting the scene to the stage that you created. So basically in this application, I'm going to have only one scene. One scene is going to be in one stage. And we finally say when everything is ready, towards the end we say stage.show. Okay, so what is this saying? In JavaFX 2.0 and the latest one, which is JavaFX 8, we can, instead of writing code over here for controlling everything manually, we can use an XML style document which is specially created for JavaFX applications. So if you have already installed the scene builder, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on the XML file here. Double click. Okay, this should open the scene builder. So this is the scene builder. It's a tool provided by Oracle. What it does is, excuse me. So in a scene builder, you can easily describe your scenes. You can put components on it. You can put different kinds of panes and so on. So I'll go over this and I'll show you what this is. Okay, jumping back to my NetBeans project. The third file in your project is the scene controller. This is basically the controller which is going to work with this XML file, FXML file. So all the code that controls the scene will be written over here. So as you can see, we have a few things over here. Now I want you to follow what I'm going to do. I will minimize this. I'll go back to my FX scene builder. Sorry, open what? The scene builder. Did you already install it? Is it installed in your computer?
Yes.
Okay, if it is installed, what you need to do is just double click on the FXML document. Double click. Okay. Sorry? Okay, this means probably your scene builder is not configured. Okay. Yeah, you probably need to configure your scene builder, how to work with it. I remember. Okay, how many people could open the scene builder?
I could open it, but not the file, not the file.
Not through the file. Okay, I think you just need to configure it. Just need to configure it. It's not a big deal. All right, so let's continue. And later on, maybe I can put a small link on how do you configure to work with your NetBeans. Okay, so this is my current pane. Like I said, we have a stage. In the stage, you have a scene. Okay, the scene is composed. Basically, it looks like a window, and you can populate it with many different kinds of controls. So on the left side, you have so many of these available. Each one of them provides you with different sets of controls. Okay, so these are the containers. By default, you need to have a container. On the left side, you can see anchor pane. Under anchor pane, you have a button. The name of this button is Click Me. Okay, and there's a label, but you cannot see the label because there's nothing written inside it. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to type hello world. Hello world. I just type hello world over here. This is the text. I can also type it just by double clicking here. You can type hello world. You can also double click over here and you can type hello world. So this is the label. Okay, I can move its position. I can make it go up, left, right, wherever you like. Let's go put it on the top. All right. Of course, you can play with the colors. For example, let's change this into blue. You can see the palette is given to you. Okay, it also even includes some sort of transparency. You can go with linear, so you can pick whatever you like. There's so many different kinds of styles. Again, I'll leave it up to you. You can just go and play with it. So you can see, yeah, the settings. Okay, you can see what's happening over here in my hello world. Yeah. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to stick with it. Now, you can change the font. Okay, so font family. So many fonts given to you. Okay, the style would be bold or regular. You can change the size, make it larger. Okay, you can easily, instead of providing numbers, you can easily drag the slider. You can change the size of the font. Okay, so let's recenter it in the middle. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write some code on the Click Me button. Now let's try to understand how that works. So basically over here you're editing a XML document. Okay, it's just a XML document. For those of you who are familiar with XML, okay, I will save this, go back to NetBeans. So the people who are familiar with XML, what you can do is right click, click on edit. It will edit this thing over here. So it's clearly an XML document. All right. Yeah, with all the details. So currently we have the anchor pane. Inside anchor pane, you have a button and you have a label. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll go back to my sample. Okay. Notice in the sample there's no code. You do not need to modify anything over here. We're going to work with the controller class. Okay, that is associated with the XML document. So let me explain what we have over here. So on the top, of course, we have imports. All the controls you're going to use, they need to be individually imported over here. We'll see how it goes. So in the class, we have global variables. So public label. Label is the name of the class, and label with a small l is an object. Okay. We're putting @FXML, so this is just connecting this label to the XML document. All right, let's create a button over here. So I'm going to type @FXML, and I'm going to say private button. Let's call this thing BTN. Okay. Right, you'll be seeing a red line because the associated dependency is not included, so you can click on Fix Import and it will include the appropriate package. Alright, so now I have two elements or two components on my scene, a label and a button. The name of the button is BTN OK. So let's assume that you already know what is a handle. How many people know what's a handle? What's a handle? Okay. Anyways, just to make it easy for you, let me get back to the scene builder. Now I'm going to select the Click Me button. Okay, so on the right side, in the right pane, you have the properties. Okay, I'm gonna hide this. Okay, if you click on layout, this is where you can change the properties for the way it appears, the button appears on your scene. And the last option you have is a code, the code behind the button. So if you click on it, okay, what I'm going to do is, the first thing over here is the ID for this button. This is how it appears in the XML file. We're going to link it with my, okay, I'm going to link it with my controller class. So I'm going to type the name of this. Okay, do you remember what was the name over here? Yeah, BTN, okay. So I'll just type it over here. All right. So what happens is, these are all the different actions available to you. So if somebody clicks on the button, it will invoke the handle for button action. Okay. So this is basically the name of a method. Handle button action. All right. I'll go back to NetBeans. I'll show you where it is. There you go. So handle button action is taking a parameter which is an event, action event. Okay, means whenever somebody clicks on the button, it will call this code. Okay, and what this code is doing, it will print, you clicked me, okay, on, of course, your console. And I'm going to change this a little bit. Remember, we had a label which contains hello world. Okay, let's change this thing. Let's call this thing I clicked it. All right. So let's give it a run. We save the file. Okay. So we save the file. Okay. Let's clean build it. Well, we haven't built it before, so you can just run. Okay, there you go. So there's your application. Yeah. So if you click on the click me button, look what happened. It changed the label. All right, so I clicked it. At the same time, if you remember, we were printing something on the console. So you can see this over here in the console. It also printed. You click me. So that was our very, very first encounter with JavaFX. What do you like to work with this or this? Yeah, this looks much better. Okay, so I'm going to close this application. Just close it from here. Yes.
The code there was a hello world thing first.
Where?
When we change the hello world and text thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when the program started, okay, what we put over here was by default it was hello world. When I click on the button, I'm telling my program go and change the text in this label to I clicked it. Okay, run again. I think maybe some people did not notice. So when the program starts, it says hello world because this is the default value you provided. When you click on the click me button, it will change I clicked it, and it will also print you clicked me in the console. And this is of course coming from here.
Can we change the properties? It's not only the text. Now we click on the button, the text changes.
Yeah.
But what about the color?
You can do all those things. That's a very easy thing. In the code, just type the name of the object that you're using. Okay, it shows you all these different calls. So if I want to change something, I will say set. Okay, set background, set border. Okay, there's so many different things that you can work with. You can set cursor. It means it will bring the cursor on the button. All right, set the font. So you can provide the name of the phone, the size of the phone, set graphic. So there's so many things. Again, I don't have time to go over all of this in such a short period of time. You can explore on your own. Each component that you put on the scene, okay, has its own properties. You can simply go and change it. Okay, any questions so far? Is everything okay? How many people got what we just did? Okay, that's great. So the bottom line is, in an FX project, at the very least, you have the main file, which contains the main method. You do not really need to modify lots of things over here. Okay, you just keep most of the things over here. What you would be working with is the XML document, where you can design the way your screen looks, and the controller class, which controls the behavior of the components on your screen, on your stage. Okay, so that was a very simple application. Now let's do some practice. Previously I provided a training folder, which is a training project. The project, which is downloadable as a zip file, you can download and extract it in the same training folder, which I've already done. Okay, it's available on my desktop. So here's the training folder. This is what contains my source code. Okay, under source, I have 3 packages over here. So it's just plain download from the website. Now in NetBeans, if you like to open it, of course you can go File, Open Project, and in your folder, the training folder, you can provide a link to training. All right. One of the things you're noticing right now is you can see this weird little icon, which is Twitter4J. Okay, we're going to work on this in the 3rd exercise. So I'll skip it for a minute, and let's go work with the first project. So for now, I'm not going to be using any of these. Let me close all of them. Okay, let's open exercise 1. Exercise 1, this is the main method, main class containing the main method. So you can see it's exactly the same code. I did not make any changes over here. What's happening is we start the stage, okay? We set the name of your FXML document to be the same as what we have over here. And in the main file, we're just calling the launch method, which initiates the FX application. So you don't really need to change anything over here. Now let's open the FXML document in Scene Builder. Okay, so this is what I have over here for now. Let me show you how do we work with this. Okay, let's duplicate our effort. So I'm going to create, let's go back to the sample. Let's work in the same project. Okay, let me give you a choice. Do you want to work in the same project, or let's create a new one? What is better for you? Same one? Create a new one? Okay, for the people who did not follow me, okay, let me create a new one so you can see what we missed. So new project, JavaFX, FXML application, next. Let's call this thing E1. Okay, I'm going to call this E1. Click on finish. Just going to build the project for you. Okay. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate what I have over here. Sorry. Yeah, I want to do this same. I want to do the same in my new project. So I'm just going to double click on my FXML document in my new project called E1. Okay, so this is the default setting with one scene containing a button and a label. I don't need any of this, so I'll just go delete it. Okay, you can just right click, delete. Okay, you can also delete from here, label, delete the anchor pane. Okay, so very quickly, what is a container? A container contains your components. There's different kinds of containers available. You already know what an anchor pane is. We used it in the previous application. All right, there's other kinds. We have the border pane, we have the flow pane, we have the grid pane, Hbox pane, and so on. There's so many of them. Each one of them are slightly different from others. Again, no time to look at all of them. Let me go with a grid pane. I'm going to drag and drop it over here. Okay, so this is a grid pane. It looks like a table. Why does it look like a table? Because if you would like to have your components organized in a table or tabular fashion, then this would really help. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to look at the application I want to copy. So you can see there's 2 text boxes on the top. We have 4 buttons over here. We have a question mark. What is that? Does that look like a label? I think that is a label. Okay, and I have a button over here. So let me show you how to do this over here. Let's do this thing together. Okay, so first I need what do I need first? At the top, I have 2 text boxes. So I can go to controls. In controls, you can see different options you have. You have button, you have check button, choice box. Okay, it's kind of difficult to go and look around because there's so many of them. Okay, so many of them. There's table area, text area. I'm looking for text field. Alright, an easy way for finding this thing is, let's say I want to find text, so I'll just start checking over here. And it kind of filters from the library of all the components available in the scene builder to show you what you want. So I'm looking for a text field, which is this one. So let's drag and drop this over here. Okay, I need 2 of them. So I can drag and drop 2 of them. Or you can also right click and say duplicate. Duplicate will make a copy of it. Alright, so I have 2 of these. Okay, now it's currently taking the entire space.
Yes.
I don't like it. Just to see what your page will look like, you can click on preview, show preview in a window. Okay, so this is what your window looks like. Of course, it's not functional, it's just showing you what it would look like. So you have 2 text boxes, they're just so close to each other. I'm not happy with the way it looks, so I'm going to change it a little bit. Let's work with the properties. So just click on the first text box. Okay, in the properties, you can put some text over here. Prompt text, text. So let me very quickly tell you what this is. Okay, in fact, let me show you a running application from this project that I built. Okay, I'm just making a very quick change. You do not need to copy what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what the program will look like when it's running, what it does. Okay, so let's look at what we're trying to build. This is the running application. What I want to do is I want to type some numbers here. Let's say type 10 and 20. If I click on the plus button, it will add it and display the equation like this. So 10 plus 20 equals 30. If I click on subtract, okay, it should display a negative. Multiply should display a multiplication. Divide should display, give the right answer. If I try to divide it by 0, okay, it should give me an error message like this with a pop-up window. Cannot divide by 0. If I click on clear, it should clear everything, this and this and this. So just to show you, plus when I click on clear, it should clean everything. So this is what we're trying to build.
So we can do it multiple times. For example, we put 5, 5 plus, and then we put minus afterwards. It will not work.
Sorry? 5, 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 10. If I click on minus, it should give me 5 minus 5 is 0. Yeah, but this is not a complete, fully functional. It's supposed to be an exercise for you. I did some of it. You have to complete the rest of it. Okay, so I'm just showing you how to build this thing from scratch. All right, getting back over here. So the first thing is on the top is the text field. We're going to work on it. Let's change the size. So because we want to play with the size, the way it looks, we go to layout. Okay, in the layout, we want to say, give it a preferred width. Okay, so I'm going to change this, preferred width. I'm going to change this thing to, let's say, 50. Okay, maximum width, let's change this thing to 50. Okay, so you saw the size has shrunk to 50. 50 pixels. If you want, you can make it a little bit bigger. You can make it 100. Again, it's up to you. All right. It's not in the middle. I like it to be in the middle of this cell. Okay, by the way, this is the cells. These cells are coming from the grid pane. Okay, so let's bring this thing in the center. Do you see any information on how to bring this in the center?
What position?
This is called horizontal and vertical alignment. Okay, so you can bring this thing in the center, vertically bring it in the center. It's already in the center, but see what happens when you bring it to the top, bring it to the bottom, bring it to the center.
It's in respect to the grid.
With respect to this cell in the grid. Okay, so we worked on this. Let's say if you can do the same. Hey, I don't want to work and make all the changes to this cell also. What I can do is I can simply duplicate it. Okay, and bring the copied one over here. So it will take all the properties, bring it over here. You just need to change its layout. So I'll change that to center. Okay, so we've done the first thing, which is having 2 boxes. Okay, what next? What else do we need? We need 4 buttons. Okay, so let's get buttons. I need buttons, so here I'll type button. All right, all the search terms related to buttons. Of course, I'm looking for the first one, this one. So I'm just going to bring and drag and drop it over here. Okay, so we change the text on the button, double click. I want it to be plus. Okay, again, you can change it from the properties. You can also change it from here. I find it easier just to double click here and write in it. So how do you bring it in the middle? Same thing, alignment, center, edge alignment, center. There you go, it's in the middle. If you're not happy with the size of it, you can of course change the size. So you can make max width, let's go with 100. Okay, preferred width is the default width, 100. Okay, easy. So duplicate it. I want 4 of them. So there you go, there's 4 of them. They are on top of each other. But you can see this thing over here in the document. It's showing you that there's 4 buttons. So I'm going to bring this over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, change the alignment for it. So I can select a lot of them. Change their positions. Okay. So change the text. The first one should be plus. This one should be minus. This one should be multiply and division. Okay, so I'm out of room. I can add another row. Just right click, grid pane, add row below. Okay, it's going to add another row. So in this row, what do I want to put? I want to have a label here. Okay, again, how do you add another row? I need another one, so I'm going to do it anyways. So right click, grid pane, add the row above or below. I want it below, so I'll say below. Okay, so I want to have a label over here, but in the middle. Same thing with the button. I want to have a clear button, but in the middle. So first, let's get a button. Okay, and I also need a label. So here I'm going to type label. Put that over here. Here you go. So bring it in the middle. How do you bring it in the middle? We want to look at column span. Okay, make it 2. 2 means it will span the 2 columns. Okay, so currently it's still sticking on the left side. I allowed it to be in the middle of the 2 columns. So when you do the vertical alignment and the horizontal alignment to the center, look what happens. See? So the column span, it allows you to treat it as one big column instead of having 2 columns. Let's do the same thing with the button. So center. I didn't do column span 2, so it's in the center of this column. You can make it 2, and there you go. It goes in the middle. So let's change the text for button. Make it clear. Okay, I'm not happy with the size of the button. I'd like to make it bigger, so I can change it. Okay, maximum width to, let's make it 300. Okay, same goes with the label. I would say the text in the label should be bigger because this is where I'm showing the output of the program. So what I will do is change its properties. Okay, you can change the color. Let's make it red. Size of the font could be bigger. Okay, the text displayed in there, let's make it question mark because label doesn't look very nice. Okay, so put some properties for it. Now if I just click on preview, this is what it looks like. This is what my window will look like. So I can click on the buttons. Okay, we can change this. So yeah, we just created our first dummy screen. Okay, so I'll leave it up to you. You can go and change the properties of the buttons. If you're not happy with the size of this plus, you can of course make it bigger. Okay, again, it's up to you. Right, so I'm going to close or minimize this for now. Now let's get back to NetBeans. So far what we did over here was we worked with the XML document. We made all the changes in the XML document. When we saved it, we would have saved all the changes to the XML document. Let me show you what is there in the XML document. So right click, edit. Okay, there you go. So all the controls that you put in there. See, there's 4 buttons. There's a label with certain font. So it has put all the details over here, whatever you specified. Okay, so I'm going to close this for now. Let's look at the controller class. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect everything in the XML document with the Java class and make it work together. Okay, so this is my XML document controller. By default, it contains a label, okay, and the handle button action method. So what I want to do is I want to create equivalent number of similar items over here. So what I have over here is, what is this? This is a text field. I have two of them. So I will say private text field. Okay, let's call this thing txt f1. All right, don't worry, you're going to see a lot of red lines. I need two of them. So copy paste. All right, what else did we put in there? We have some buttons, right? I think we have, how many buttons we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 buttons. So I'll create 5 buttons. I'll say private button btn1. Okay, I think it would be better if I just say plus, so I can remember which one is which. All right, again, don't worry about the red lines. We're going to fix it in a minute. So I'm just copying 4 of them. So button plus, button minus, button multiply, and button for division. All right. What else do we have? Do you have something else?
Label.
We have one more label. I think we can use this one. So label, let's call this thing something else. LBL. Sorry? Yeah, I need one more button. That's right. You're right. Okay, and this was supposed to be button clear. Okay, so let's fix the imports. Right click on any one of them, click on fix imports. Okay, press OK. All right, can somebody tell me why I still have the red line? Same name. Okay, so all the 4 red lines are gone, but consequently we have these over here. You can see button, label, text field. It was not there before. These imports were added just now. Okay, so since these items are going to be linked with the XML document, so what I want to do is I want to copy this directive before each one of them. So we can tell the scene builder that this is coming from the Java controller class. Okay. Now, why did I do that? Okay, let's go back to the scene builder. I'm going to click on the first text box. Okay, on the right side, I'll go to code.
The name of the
Sorry? Yeah.
Same name.
Okay, do you see something over here on your screen? It's the name of the variable. Okay, so you can
Same name.
Okay, so when you click over here, you should be able to see a list of variables. Okay. So I just ran it. Okay, let me just get rid of extra things. All right. So now what we're going to write a little bit of code over here. So what happens is whenever somebody clicks on a button, okay, whenever somebody clicks on a button, it will call handle button action. And it will pass a variable, which is an action event, return type. The name of this object is event. Okay, I just want to call it E because we're going to need to type this many times. So just keeping it simple. Now here, I'm going to say if E dot get source equal. Okay, so I'm saying E dot get source. Give me the source of where the click is coming from. Okay, so JavaFX is going to determine which button did it click. So if the clicked button is the same as btn.clear, remember what's the clear? Yeah. Clear button, the big button. All right. So this means that if the user clicked the clear button, what should we do? Yeah, what we want to do is we want to make the text field empty, both of them empty. We want the text label to be empty. So this is exactly what we're going to do. Let's work with the text field, txt. What was it called? txt f1. So txt f1 dot. Okay, I'm going to say set text. Okay, to empty. All right, so this is going to change the text inside the first text box to empty. The second one naturally needs to be the same, so I'll just copy paste. But this time it's going to be text field 2. And the third thing was label. Okay, what was the name of the label? I think I just called it LVL. So I'm going to say LVL dot set text. So you can see it's the same call, but with a different object. Empty. Empty, or let's put a question mark over here. All right. So let's save this. Okay. Okay, so if you're done, just clean and build it. Build your application. Okay. Yeah, on my application is crashing. Okay. Did somebody was able to compile? Were you able to compile and run? Okay. So it will look like this. All right. So when you click on the clear button, whatever you typed over here, okay, it should just go away. It should become empty, and there will be a question mark over here. Okay, so let's write a little bit of code on the plus button. Let's see how that works. So on the plus button, okay, click over here. All right, you should be able to see a drag drop list. If not, you can type the name of the button that you type. Remember, this needs to match with what you wrote in the Java file. Okay, so what I'm going to do is when somebody clicks on the plus button, what I need to do is I need to get the text which is written over in the first box and in the second box. I need to get these two texts and I want to convert them to integer because it could contain a string. It's just a simple text box. So whenever a user types something, I'll try to convert it to an integer. How do you do that? Yeah, you can use an integer class. You can say integer dot parse integer. Okay, parse integer what? Yeah, this is supposed to be a string. So you can say text box number 1 or text field number 1 dot get text. So whatever text is written in the first text field, it will get that as a string. The string will be converted to integer x. Same goes with the second text box. So essentially what I'm doing over here is whenever a user clicks on one of those buttons, it will automatically go and convert the string into an integer. So first one would be stored in x, the second one would be stored in y. I make another variable called result. Okay, this is supposed to store the result. Why? Because I have 4 options, 4 buttons. So in each option the result is going to be different. So let me explain the code that I've written over here. Okay, this is the string text label or label text. This I'm using temporarily for building a string which needs to be displayed in the label. So if e.getSource equals btn plus, anybody, what does that mean? Yeah, if the user clicked on the plus button, what should I do? Result equals x plus y. So I already got the two numbers x and y. Just add them up. Label text. This is what I want to display. So it will be x plus y equals the result. All right. So go ahead and complete this. Yeah. What are you going to do for the negative? If somebody presses the minus button, so I'll change this button minus. Okay, and x minus y. Here you're going to change this thing to minus. Alright. Alright. So here I guess I did not define that. Okay, so what do you do when this is multiplication? Okay, button multiply. Just need to change that. So x times y. Okay, x times y. Yeah. Okay, same goes with the division. But we have to be careful with the division. Anybody can tell me why do you have to be careful? Exactly. If the denominator is 0, this could be problematic. It will crash your program. We do not want the program to crash. So what we can do is I can put a condition like this. Look here. already wrote the code for it. If e.getSource equals button divide, first I'll check if y is 0. What is y? Yeah, the denominator I got from the second text field. So if this is 0, I'm going to create an alert. I'll say alert A equals new alert, alert type dot information, A dot set title, error. So what's it's going to do is it's going to create an alert window. It's like a pop-up window. On the top, it will say error. In the text, it will say cannot divide by 0. And I'll say a.show and wait. Okay, show and wait means that show the window and wait for the user to click OK. All right. So else, otherwise, what should we do? Yeah, I'll copy this text. I don't want to write it again. Okay, in fact, let me cut and paste. I don't need all of it. Yeah, so x divide by 1. And there we go. Okay, so at the end, we've built a string. I'm simply going to display the string on the screen. So label result dot set text, label text. Okay, so let me build and run this application. There are no errors. All right, so here I type 1, 2, 3. Here I type 100. So some of it should be minus, multiply, divide. Okay, should that be 1 or 1.23? It's integer. Okay, so what if I divide it by 0? Say plus, minus, multiply, divide. There you go, that's my alert. So this is a pop-up window with the top title, error. In the text is displaying cannot divide by 0 and OK. You click on clear and everything would be gone. So this was our first exercise. Okay. We just learned how do you work with build a simple calculator for math. Okay, let me show you the second exercise. The second exercise is an exercise on how to use different paint styles, menus, and more. So just click on it. Here you can find instructions on how to do it. Okay. So previously I worked on it. Let me close all of them. So the code that I've given you, okay, already contains this fxml file. All right. So very quickly, what is in there? Preview, show preview in window. We're going to build this now. So we have a menu. Under file menu, you have submenus, clear, save, close. In edit, there's something over here. In help, there's something over here. So this is a menu. This is a text box. Okay. The idea is that I can type something over here, click on send, and it should come here in this box. So at the bottom, you have a label with the copyrights information. So we're going to build an interface that looks like this. Basically, later on, you will be taking a network programming training, I think. And one of the assignments usually in a network programming course is how do you connect to another computer. So typically a chat program where you can chat with other person. So imagine, Yani, you're running 2 copies of this on your computer and your friend's computer. So you can type a message over here, click on send. It'll put the message over here, and it will send the message to your friend's application. So that part is beyond the scope of this course. How do you connect to the other machine? But at least you can build an interface for this thing. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so what we have over here is we have a border pane. Remember in containers, last time we worked with anchor pane, and we also looked at the grid pane. Yeah? Now I'm going to show you what is a border pane. A border pane, as it suggests, okay, it's a border pane. It's a pane where they have divided different parts of the pane or the screen into 5 portions. So you have the top portion, left, right, center, and the bottom. So all the panes are there for you to describe what the scene or what the window would look like. So what I've done over here is, let me delete this. So this is the top, left, center, right, and bottom. Okay, so what I did was, on the left side, it's empty. I didn't put anything. The right side is also empty. There's nothing in there. In the top area, I put a V box. In the bottom area, I put a H box. In the middle area, I put a text area. This is simple. Text area, all you have to do is just go text. Okay. Previously, we used text field. Yeah, text field is small. This is a text field. A text area is a bigger area which can contain multiple lines. So if I press enter, you can go to the next line. Okay, so that's a major difference. Now, what is a V box and what is an H box? If you want to put multiple things in a row like this, okay, we use a H box. So I'll click on H box, it expands. I have only one thing in there, which is a label. All right, so this bottom portion is an H box. You don't really see it. Inside the H box is a label. On the top area of the border pane, I put a V box. A V box is a vertical box. As you can see, Yani, over here, from the image, a vertical box looks like this. You can put things in this order. Whatever you want, it'll go here like that. You can expand it to your desired size. Same goes with the horizontal box. This is V box and horizontal box. So I can put multiple things inside each area of the box. So what I did was I put a V box over here. Now I need to put menus, and we need to have 3 menus in there. So click here, find a menu, type menu. There's so many different kinds of menus there. We're looking for the menu container that is going to contain multiple menus. So you can look at menu bar. Okay, this is a menu bar, which is the top area. Inside the menu bar, I want to have 3 options. I want to have file, I want to have edit, and I'm going to put help in there. So all of these are menu items. Sorry, menus. So you put a menu, just drag a menu over here, have a file, edit, help. Can somebody tell me why do you see an underscore before file? You see an underscore before file over here. Yeah, this is the Alt option. So let me run this application. I'll show you what it is. Okay, so setting it to the second. Package, clean, and run. Okay, so if I click on Alt, on my keyboard, all right, it will automatically highlight the first. Now you can see the underlines are visible. Okay, so if I say Alt E, E is a shortcut. Okay, if I say Alt F, it'll open that. If I'm here and I click Alt E, okay, it'll go over there. Just like a shortcut. All you have to do is just put a underscore in front of it. Right. So under the file menu, this is the file menu, you have menu items. So first menu item is you can drag and drop it over here. Clear, save. Okay. If you notice, I'm showing you a line over here. You see a line between save and close? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, this is called the separator. So you can have a separator. It's available here. Separator menu item. So you can drag and drop it over here and menu item close. All right. Same goes with menu edit. I did not change anything. Normally you should have cut, copy, paste, right? So I can duplicate this. Duplicate. So cut, copy, and paste. Okay, so I'll save this. Go back to my application. It's not appearing. Why so? Yeah, yeah, I did not build it. I need to build it again and play it again. Right, so edit, there you go, cut, copy, paste. Alright, under help I have about. So the simple thing was what I want to do is I want to type something here and press send and it copies the text over here. Now if I say something else, okay, click send, so it'll append it. So how to do this thing? Yeah, come on, we learned this thing in 101. Yeah, what I want to do is whenever somebody clicks on this button, I want to get this text and then append it to the end of this text. That's it. Yeah, plus equal. Let me show you the code for it. So when somebody clicks on this button, controller code. So when somebody, again, I've defined over here, I've defined a button, text field, text area, menu item. All right. So this is the button. When somebody clicks on the send button, what I do is I get the text. Okay. I think this is the text area, the big box.
Yeah.
My small box is text enter. So text enter dot get text. So it's going to give me the string, whatever the user typed in the smaller text box, appended with the next line character, and store it in text. So what is this doing? Yeah, when somebody clicks on the button, what I do is whatever is inside the big box, I take it and store it in a text string. Now what I do is I add the text given in the small box with the next line character. I append it in the same, and then I copy it back to the text area. So basically overwrite. Whenever you say that set text is going to put whatever you give. It's basically overwriting whatever is written in there. And then I say text enter dot set text empty. What is this doing? Yeah, the small text box. Okay, now that is going to become empty. Okay, you're going to put empty string in the small text box. All right. So now I want to show you something which is interesting, which is very commonly used. Okay, how do you save a file? Right. So I'm going to run this program. Let's type something. Another line. Okay. Right. So I want to say file save. So when I want to save something, the standard Windows save form appears. I can choose a place where I want to save this file. Let's put this over here on the desktop. I'm going to say a test.txt file. Click save. Okay, did it save the file? I don't know. Let's go and see. You see it somewhere? Is this the one? Okay, it's not properly formatted, but at least it did go and save it in there. So how does that work? Let's see. So yeah, when somebody clicks on the save button, sorry, when somebody clicks on the save menu, okay, when somebody clicks on the save menu, what I will do is I will call this method. I just created my own method. It's called save file. Alright, so we create a stage. Remember what is a stage? Yeah? What is a stage? So every window needs to have its own stage. Inside the stage you have scenes. Inside the scene you have multiple components. So I'm creating a new stage. I'm preparing the stage for displaying the open file window. So file chooser is the object, it's the class for the window that allows you to find files. This is again accessible through Windows. So file chooser, this is my object, file chooser equals new file chooser. Then I think you're familiar with this, file F. Okay, you're making a new file object equals file chooser dot show save dialogs stage. What this is going to do is it will show the dialog box for getting the data or the file name from the user. So whenever I do this, file save, it creates a new stage. The new stage is going to call this. Okay, it calls this. So now whatever I select or type over here, let's say 123.txt, I want to put this on the desktop. Right, whenever I click save, okay, so 123.txt goes back to as a string. It goes back and it initiates the file object. Alright, if I pressed cancel, would it have sent something back? With a cancel? It will not send any text. So this is what I'm saying. If it is not cancel, okay, print writer P, make a new print writer. Okay, print something on the file. What on the file? Whatever is given inside the text area dot get text. Then you can say p.close, close the print writer. So it is going to go and close the file. Alright, so this is the code given. Again, it's not complete code. I'll put some instructions over here for you how to work with it. Okay, some instructions to complete the exercise. Do we have time? I don't think we have a lot of time, so let me very quickly show you the third exercise. Third exercise is not easy. You need at least half an hour to do it. So, okay, build an application to connect to Twitter API and extract tweets for up to 3 keywords. Display your results in your app. Allow users to tweak settings, analyze data, and display a graph for word count. So I have given you a sample code. Alright, this is available in the third exercise. Okay, some requirements. How to set up connection with Twitter. That's another thing. We need the library for that. Remember I asked you to download a zip file and then extract it in the training folder. So Twitter 4G is a library. Okay, we need to tell NetBeans that you need to use the library. So what I'm going to do is on my trainings project, I'm going to look at its properties, and in the libraries option, I'm going to tell NetBeans that you need to include a jar file, an external library. This is available in the training folder where you downloaded the Twitter 4G library. Go to Twitter 4G library. Inside it, there's a folder called lib, libraries. Okay, we're looking at core. So there's 5 libraries available. You're going to work with core library. Okay, so press open. In my case, it's already here, so it'll simply add it over here. What it does is it simply adds a class path to the libraries included in this jar file. Okay, so when you have it, all right, so let me show you what the form looks like. Okay, this is what the form will look like. Yeah. So we have 3 text boxes on the top. This is where I'm going to provide the keywords that we want to search. By the way, what we want to do with this application. This application is going to connect to Twitter using your account. Then it goes and finds a keyword, searches a keyword for all the tweets, okay, and returns back tweets which contain that search term. So if I type something here, let's say hello, I want the program to get me 100 tweets containing the word hello, okay, and I want it in a language, English, Arabic, Chinese, Korean, whatever. Alright, so if I click on get, it will go fetch the tweets and display them in this text box. I can organize the way it shows the text by show user ID, show a tweet text, show a tweet time, show the counter, what's the number of the tweet. Okay, I can do some analytics and show a graph over here. Let me show you the running application. Let's build and run it.
So which jar will be imported from?
Sorry?
Which one did you import?
Core. Oh. Yeah, I did not change the properties. Okay. Go run class number 3. Okay, so now this is a running application. So what this application does is it's going to connect to Twitter using special codes. So I want to search for a tweet. Let's search for, let's go with Saudi. Okay, I want to get 10 tweets in English. Okay, I want you to show the user ID, the person who tweeted, and the text of the tweet. Let's click on get. Okay, there you go. It went and it found these tweets. These are 10 tweets. So I don't want to see the alright, so this is the counter. This is the person who tweeted. Probably this is the retweet, and this is the text. Okay, text for what was tweeted, and this is the time for the tweet. Okay, so I can search another keyword. Get. Okay, there you go. So it's showing me a pie chart containing number of letters. So let's go with very common tweet. Can you think of a very common keyword?
Yes.
Okay, get. Alright, so you can see this thing is simply counting how many times the word tweet appeared in this text, how many times the word Islam appeared in this text. So this is doing an OR. So any query that contains, or any tweet that contains the words Islam or tweet, okay, can appear over here.
Depending on your timeline, the ones that you follow.
Okay, right now, no. This is all Twitter. Okay, the latest top 10 tweets. I can go up to 100. Okay. Yeah. This is, by the way, not complete. Okay. Again, this is only a framework. It's not a full application. There are many things which are missing. So the code is given over here. Now what you need to do is play with it. Okay, this is the code for Twitter. So very quickly, I'm going to explain what is in there. These are the different components, labels and text areas, pie chart. All right, this is setting up the language, English or Arabic. Yeah, I can also get it in Arabic. Yeah, this is the code for showing the pie chart. Okay, that's it. It's not too much. Now, how do you connect to Twitter? I'll put the information over here, step-by-step guidelines, and how do you connect to Twitter. What you need to do is register with Twitter. If you already do not have the account, you can create one. Then you need to go to this website, apps.twitter.com. Log in as a developer. Now, there you're going to click on a button which says create an app. Okay, so follow these instructions. Okay, set up the account settings just like this. At the end of the day, there will be a button which says test off. Click on it. It's going to give you 4 encrypted keys. Okay, these are consumer key, consumer secret, access token, and access token secret. What you need to do is copy paste these into the ex3 file. I have a method over here which says authenticate. So you need to copy them over here. These work only with my account. Okay, so you can build your own application. You can copy paste them over here. These are necessary for connecting to Twitter. Without this, it will not connect to Twitter. Okay, and yeah, there's a lot of code over here which is just building the tweets. So you do not need to modify anything over here. You just need to tweak the code in the controller class here. Okay, the start code is already there. You just need to go and change it. All right. So like I said, you cannot do a graphical user interface training in a few hours. It probably needs a complete course. But this was just to give you a flavor of what you can do with Java. I hope it was useful, and see you inshallah for the next training. Thank you for attending.
Thank you.